Hey everyone, it's Alexander, the real Mr. Robinson. Welcome to the channel. This is my review for CODA, which actually came out back in August, or that's when it was released. It premiered at Sundance last year in January 2021, and here I am reviewing it a full year after its Sundance debut. Anyway, the title of this movie, CODA, stands for Child of Deaf Adults, and that's exactly what this movie is about. This movie is about a high school girl who is born from two deaf parents. She has an older brother who is deaf as well, but she's the only one in her family that can actually hear, so she ends up being their interpreter. And she helps with her family's fishing business. It's going through some struggles, but soon after she graduates high school, she's planning to work there full time. That is until she starts learning that she has a real love for singing. And so this movie is about her being at crossroads on, do I want to stay and support my family because I'm the only one in the family that can actually hear and I can interpret for them? Or do I just want to pursue my dreams and try to become a singer? Do I want to do something else with my life that I want to do? This movie is actually an American remake of a French movie back from 2014 that has a very similar plot. The movie is called Le Famille Belair. I hope I pronounced that right. I have never heard of that movie before, but after watching CODA, I'm really curious to see how that original version plays out, or what exactly is different between the two, because this movie right here is one of my favorites of 2021. This is a movie that I had no idea came out as far back as August. I mean, yes, again, it was a Sundance movie, but it didn't get released until August, and it got released on Apple TV+, which prior to this movie, I just didn't own. So sorry, Ted Lasso fans, but I just never had Apple TV+ until right now. So I didn't see this movie until right before I had to start voting for the Hollywood Critics Association Film Awards, because I'm a member, and I'm so glad I saw this movie beforehand, because it truly is great. Although I had a very interesting experience watching the movie, which I'll touch upon a little later, but the movie itself is pretty much a coming-of-age film. It's about a high school girl trying to discover what she wants out of life, and it involves her relationship with her family, and it's a very sweet relationship. The lead actress is Emilia Jones, and she is fantastic in this role. Her character is likable, she's very relatable, and you kind of identify with some of the problems she's going through. I mean, okay, let me try to explain that, because I can't do American Sign Language, and none of my family members are deaf. But when I say that, it's like, she still has a lot of the problems that any high schooler does, where she's trying to figure out what she wants to do with her life, and she's torn between her dreams and her family. What's a bigger priority, and will she let her family down if she decides to go the other way? So the struggles, I feel like, are very believable and very relatable for any young person. And her family is fantastic as well, especially her father, played by Troy Kotsur. He's great in the movie. Marlee Matlin and Daniel Durant are great as well as her mother and her brother respectively. And I gotta say, in terms of 2021 being a great year for musicals, there's been a lot of deaf representation in movies last year, or even TV shows. Even if deaf representation is in smaller roles like Godzilla vs. Kong, A Quiet Place Part 2, Eternals, or Hawkeye, there's been a lot of deaf representation last year, and it's nice to see this community is getting a lot more attention in terms of movies, even if, again, with some of those other roles, they're supporting roles. No, this movie is probably the best representation for the deaf community out there right now, because that's one of the main aspects of the film. Then you also have Eugenio Derbez as Ruby's high school teacher, Mr. V, and he pretty much plays that high school teacher that is really tough, really strict, that you hate at some point when you went to high school, but upon further consideration you realize the reason he was as tough as he was is that he really wanted to see me succeed. And that's pretty much his role in this movie. He can really be an asshole sometimes. Even if he's funny, he's still kind of an asshole. But you even like him at the end of the day because he's trying to help push Ruby to follow her dream. She really wants to pursue singing, even though it's something that her family probably won't be able to appreciate because they're deaf. And the drama in this movie works really well without ever feeling heavy-handed. This is just a great movie overall. Even though it didn't win any Golden Globes, it did get nominated for Best Picture Drama, so I hope that's at least a sign of optimism that the Academy is going to give it some recognition. And I know we at the Hollywood Critics Association have nominated it for a lot of stuff, so this is a movie that I really recommend you see. It's not one of my favorite coming-of-age movies, which is why I'm not going to say get off your ass and go see it right now, but it is certainly worth seeing in your lifetime. I mean, considering how cheap Apple TV Plus is, this is something that's really worth getting it beyond Ted Lasso. Although, if you do watch this movie, I would recommend you have a really well set up sound system. And the reason for that is because my experience watching this movie was a weird one. I started watching this on my TV, and all the dialogue was really toned down. And I was watching about 25 minutes of this movie thinking, oh, the toned down dialogue is probably an artistic choice. I mean, yeah, I can kind of hear the non-deaf characters talking, but thank God the movie has subtitles from beginning to end. But it's one of those things where I appreciated it, but it got really old really fast. And then my Wi-Fi crapped out on the TV, so I just decided to move over to my laptop and watch the rest. And when I watched the rest of the movie, I realized, oh, no, this wasn't an artistic choice, it's just my TV audio kind of sucked for some reason. So I spent about 25 minutes of this movie thinking that all the non-deaf characters had their dialogue lowered as an artistic choice, but no, it was just the TV. So just be careful on how you watch this movie and make sure your sound is up to par and that you don't think that that the movie drowns out the dialogue from all the non-deaf characters. And there you go, that's my review for CODA. I hope you enjoyed it. Now I want to know what you guys think about the movie. If you've seen it, what did you think? Whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments below. And until next time, this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there's only one. Hello everyone, I just want to say thank you all for watching my review for CODA. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, go check out my Twitch channel, and support me on Patreon. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day, and take care of yourselves.